You can't make better business decisions if you don't have benchmarks and a goal that you want to reach. You need to be specific, okay? It's not just about, I want to book more brides for next year. Do you want to book more brides for 2024? Do you want to book more brides for 2025? How many more brides? And do you actually want to book more brides, or do you want more money? Okay, so and now if you take a look at that and you're kind of like, there's a difference? Yeah, there's a difference. And it's really gonna impact the decisions that you make for your business. Do you wanna do more work? Do you wanna see more physical clients? Or do you just want more money? So getting clear on your goals will help you decide, well, what are the actual steps that I need to take to get to that goal? If your goal is more bookings, okay, more physical weddings that you're actually doing, all right, now you're going to make more decisions that get you closer to that goal. You're gonna break that goal down and say, okay, if I want more weddings for 2024, how many more, okay? How many was I already booking? How many do I already have for 2024? Where are my openings? Where's my availability? All right, where am I getting more inquiries? Do I need to maybe close down some dates to free up some space? Like, you're gonna really just kind of evaluate, and then you're gonna take a look at your process and say, all right, what worked for booking so far? What worked in 2023 that got me a lot of bookings? Or was there something that slowed the process down and I'm not getting as many bookings? Whereas if your focus is, I just wanna make 20% more in 2024, okay, well then it's more about your pricing than it is about the number of weddings that you need to book. All right, if you're happy and you're at a threshold where you're like, this is a good work-life balance. Like, I don't want to do more than 35 weddings next year or 50 weddings or whatever that is. Once you are able to say, okay, I have 5 spaces left, I could only take 5 more weddings, all right, you're hitting that threshold. You are not so focused on every booking coming in, booking them. You're gonna be like, I'm gonna evaluate a little bit more. I can only take 5 more weddings. Do I really wanna work with this person, kind of thing? And you make different decisions based on what your goals are. Whereas if you're like, well, I wanna make more money overall, you might start implementing my price increase system, where you're like, okay, I wanna do 40 weddings, I need to make 20% more than I did. It's not just I need to raise my prices by 20%. You may need to decide, okay, I'm gonna raise them by 20% at the beginning, but I'm going to maybe have a different threshold for my minimums so that you don't have anything that's small taking away. Because 20% increase, it's not exactly the same thing, okay? Unless I do 5 people for a wedding every single time and that's it. Like if you have one price, one package price, then yeah, increasing that by 20%, sure, that'll make you 20% more if you do the same number of weddings. But not every number of weddings is gonna have, not every wedding is gonna have the same number of people. So just by raising your 20%, your prices 20% doesn't guarantee that overall you're going to make it. So you might make a decision about your minimums instead. There's a lot of different ways to kind of look at things without going too much into pricing or whatever. Definitely check out the pricing guide. But knowing what your goal is can help you figure out, well, what are the actual steps that I need to get there? Do I want more actual work? Do I want more money? Do I want to post less on Instagram, but still have the same inquiries and same number of bookings that I do? Or do you want to say, all right, I want to focus more on building my network? Get really clear on your goals, and then you can break those goals down into the actual steps. And then we can get into step number 2, which is to start collecting data related to those goals. So, for example, if your goal is to have more inquiries that come from networking, versus what you did in 2023. So say you have 10 inquiries that came in that said that they found you through a preferred vendor list or through somebody else. And you're like, okay, I really want to get more people who are saying they found me on preferred vendor lists, or, you know, from their venue, or was referred by their photographer or whatever. What do I need to do? Well, you probably need to work on building up those relationships. How many did you get? How many more do you want to get? So you get your data, you set your goal, and then you go, okay, how many times did I build new relationships in 2023 that led to those 10 referrals? If they were all really from the same 1 or 2 people and you want to get more next year, then you know what? It's pretty easy to just make a couple of more really good connections. What do you need to do to make good connections? Do you need to go to more networking events? Do you need to get more social on social media and spend more time engaging with other wedding vendors online versus putting out reels or TikToks, you know, focusing on trying to get more likes and views from brides? Can you put the same amount of time into your Instagram but shift the focus into building relationships with vendors? Okay, that's gonna work for you like twofold, because you're gonna be putting out stuff on Instagram, so it's still gonna maintain consistency on Instagram, but it's also gonna really start to build relationships with vendors. Maybe you join a local networking group that meets together once a month. Building up a relationship with those people, even though I'm not doing weddings, I still find it very beneficial for me. You could do the same thing. 1 day a month, for an hour, 90 minutes, maybe 2 hours, depending on how really into it you get and what the group situation is kind of like. Can you do that? And then you don't know who you could possibly meet from there. You could get an opportunity to work with a client that like is your dream client. And now you've just made this new connection where their dream clients are your dream clients, and you can start kind of cross-promoting. Okay, would you maybe get an opportunity to collaborate with them on their Instagram or participate in a styled shoot? Or there's so many little things that can just really kickstart and build and grow that isn't just necessarily going to be, okay, I'm going to get some more referrals. Kind of look at your goals. What did you do? Break it down into steps so what you can figure out what you need to do for the upcoming year to get more growth in that specific area. So thank you so much for joining me on today's podcast. I will see you next time.